for more on this, let's bring in economist Steve Keen, and he joins us from Trang in Thailand. Great to have you on the programme. I want to ask you, if enough people actually download this app, will that bring the government to a point when they can open up the country again and get the economy going?
I think that's what's going to happen, because Australia has, more by luck originally than by good management, really has contained the virus. The level of cases in Australia is about 1/25th the level of cases in the UK on a per capita basis. And this is some of Australia's natural features, of course, being isolated from the rest of the world as it is. And also, don't forget, Australia had a history of being a police state. So when the police want to enforce something, we go back to the days where, as well as convicts, we had warders, and people do ultimately end up following the orders and not socially congregating. So it's been successful, and it could well eradicate the virus. And I think that is the current objective the government has said it's very happy eyes upon.
All right. And the big question, why are privacy experts concerned about this app?
Well, Australia has had a record of abusing systems which were supposed to be private and have then been revealed. There have been scams and crimes over the welfare system, the New Start scheme and things like this, quite bad abuse of private information. And for that reason, Australians are justifiably sceptical of the application. From what I've seen from technical people I follow on Twitter, however, they claim the code has actually been quite well designed and can't be used by the police to track people, by political parties and so on. So these experts that I know, I'm not one myself, are saying they would advise people to download the application because it will help in eradicating the virus.
So the 2 million Australians that have downloaded it already, would you say they have not much to worry about with regards to privacy?
In this particular application's case, yes. The code hasn't been released open source style, but it's been released in a couple of ways that mean you can interpret it to some degree. And the people I've read on Twitter, whom I respect, have said, well, it looks like this can't be used for nefarious purposes. I think one thing they mentioned was the data actually expires after 3 weeks, which makes sense, because 3 weeks after something, if you haven't got the virus, you know you're not going to get the virus. So things like that are built into the code, and I certainly can't vouch for it myself, but from what I've seen from experts talking about it, it looks like it's safe, it's privacy safe, and it certainly will help in suppressing the virus, hopefully to zero on the Australian continent.
All right, Steve, that's Australia, but what about other countries? What are your concerns with having this sort of app on their phone?
Well, I think we've got to give up with the whole idea of individual freedom in the nonsense way that American ideology puts it forward, and the idiotic way that neoclassical economics prevails it as well. We have to recognise we are not primarily an economic entity. We are primarily a biological entity, and the coronavirus couldn't care about whether we have socialism or capitalism or libertarian or authoritarianism. It just wants to get transmitted from one of us to another, and we have to think in a biological sense, and that does mean we should use our technology to do things that other species can't do, which is work out where you've been, where you could have got it from, and track back from any particular cases. So I think we certainly need better democratic systems than we have, but this is one time we have to put biology ahead of any idea of democracy or libertarian thought.
Biology ahead. Thank you. Strong words to end on. Steve Keen, live from Trang in Thailand. Appreciate your time.